If you do our $89 transfer, which is what we call all you can filter, where you can put an interest rate, any loan amount, any property value, this is closer to a 10% conversion rate in funding because you're really putting some tight filters in place. And again, we can get into that in more detail. Ryan, you know, on a one-on-one conversation, if you want to call in or speak to our sales reps, they can go over those conversion rates with you specifically, or call myself. But Ryan may have some interesting statistics to share on mortgage data that they get from the internet lead side as well.
I think you hit it right on the head. Those are the numbers that I was going to say. I mean, really, I think it's on average we're seeing companies between 1% and 3%.
Okay.
But companies that are on the upper end are 3+%. Doing really well, you're at 5 to 7. If you're at 10, then you are definitely doing well. You're doing exceptionally well.
Right.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. So the next question. What is the ROI and break-even point in order to justify live hot transfers? And I'm glad you asked that. So look, guys, here's how I would love for you to think about whether you should use hot transfers in your business or not. First of all, I think volume is the first criteria. If you're just buying 1 or 2 leads a day, you don't need us. I think you would like us because outbound dialing stinks and no one likes it, but we're not really going to add value there. You got 8 hours a day to call that lead. So if there's a volume issue based on the number of leads you're getting and you just can't get to them, or you want to buy double the leads you're buying now but you just can't handle them, that's the first criteria. The second criteria is it worthwhile economically? And here's all you got to do. Figure out on the back of a napkin, what is it costing you to work those leads? So you're buying 100 leads from NetQuota if you're insurance or whomever in whatever vertical. So it takes a certain amount of work to get that consumer on the phone and start the sales process. Sit down and figure it out. If you got 5 people and you're buying them leads, I guarantee you half of their time is spent not selling. It's spent contacting, leaving messages, calling back. So their salary is what? Cut that in half, and that's a cost. You got overhead. So there's a cost associated with getting to the sales, not selling, just getting to the point where you can start to sell. Figure that out, and then say, okay, if that went away, double positive makes that go away, how much would I save? And that's the economic justification that I'd like you to use for us. Now, granted, I think we're going to give you a lift in performance. We're going to give you a lift in contact rate for sure, not because we're magicians. It's because we've literally spent $6 million on our platform doing nothing but dialing consumers. So we do it well. It's unlikely you're going to do it that well. And then we think we're going to give you a lift in conversion in addition because we're going to get to that consumer quicker. But I think even if you ignore that, I think if you look at the labor and time and the direct dollars that labor takes you just to begin the sales process, you'll see we are incredibly cheap. And then what you can do, so let's say you do that, and half your time of those 5 guys is spent getting to the sales process, you can either cut your staff in half and maintain the same number of leads better, or double your lead buy. Literally double your lead buy with the same team. You can even triple it, and you can triple the sales production, same team, same period of time. No smoke and mirrors. It's simply because they're talking to 3 times the number of people because all they do is sell all day on the phone. Next question. Is there a contract requirement or minimum? Joe, you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take it, and then I'll let Ryan talk too from Leads360. And also, before I do that, I just wanted to piggyback off your the last question. That, and Ryan can attest to this too, is that the prospects that we talk to constantly, a lot of them are oblivious. I mean, they realize it happens in the natural sales process, but because they're giving their sales folks fresh leads each day, the leads may be called 1 time, 2 times that first dial attempt, and then they know that they're going to get new leads the next day, so the leads just fall to the wayside, and we keep that lead through the dial queue. Obviously, the highest probability of a transfer is in real time within that first 5 minutes, but it's essential to really try to squeeze as much value as you can out of every lead, and every lead needs to be accounted for, and that's the beauty of the 360 software, is it really helps a manager and owner track that to make sure that every lead is accounted for. Now, going back to double positive pricing and contracts, we don't have long-term contracts. We don't have a setup fee. We don't want to make folks be tied into a long-term deal if they don't, if they're not comfortable with. So we want to prove to you that we can get a lot more return on investment than what you're doing internally, and so it's on a campaign by campaign level. We do ask you to give us a 90-day test. You're not required to do that, but we do ask you to do that. And so the service agreement you sign is for the specific campaign that you have us working on. And Ryan, go ahead with 360.
Rephrase the question for me.
Any contracts?
Contracts, yes. So we have a 12-month contract in place. And one of the things, I'll stress why, I didn't touch too much on the service side of our business, but we are very proactive in terms of how we work with our clients. We have about 50 employees. We are venture-backed as well. We have a pretty sized support team and service team. And so when we work with somebody, we really do extend a helping hand and look to partner with the company and provide a lot of guidance and feedback on how, not only how they can use the lead management system, but how they can really leverage that system to fuel conversions. So it's a 12-month contract.